One very neat and useful feature of the subclassing mechanism is that you can not only inherit the implementation of methods, but you can also change them in subclasses. And that is called method overriding. Remember that a subclass inherits all public and protected attributes and methods from its superclass. Now, if you want to specialize a subclass and change the behavior for a certain method, you can do that by simply redefining a method by the same name and signature. For example, remember we have our shape class and a subclass circle. And now imagine the shape class has a method toString, which simply returns a string that represents an object of type shape. And that may simply say, for example, I am a red shape, where of course red will be replaced by the actual color. Now you may, for example, want to change that behavior in the subclass by making circles return I am a red circle. You can do that by overriding the toString method. This is how this could look like in Java code. We have two simple implementations of a class called shape and a subclass called circle. Both of them have a toString method, but the method in the circle class overrides the existing one in its superclass shape. So that a shape object would print I am a some color shape, whereas the circle object would return I am a such color circle. Right, to try this out, let me simply add a short main method to the circle class here. What we do here is in line 8, we just create a new shape object, and in line 9, we set its public color attribute to red, and then we print the result of the toString method. Let's run this. And we get the expected result because we call the toString method on a shape object. Now let's, for comparison, create a new circle object and print that. Now what we see is that in our second call, we actually call that method of the subclass, and therefore we get the result defined by the subclass. In fact, you will remember that all classes implicitly are subclasses of the class called object, and the toString method is already present in the object class. So there's an implementation of toString in the object class, and therefore even the shape class here has already overridden the existing toString method from its superclass. This is the reason, by the way, why you can simply print a given object, because implicitly its toString method will be called. Finally, let me say that overriding is not the same as overloading, although the terms sound very similar. Overloading describes the fact that you would have several methods with the same name, but different parameter lists. So for example, you could have different constructor methods with different default parameters. Overriding is what we've discussed in this video, namely it allows you to have several methods with the same name and parameter list, so the same signature, but they are declared in different classes, which are in superclass-subclass relationship. Overriding is the mechanism to specialize the behavior of a method, whereas overloading simply means that you have several methods by the same name but different parameter lists.